Such a pleasure to talk to you both at the same time, because it's like, you know, the character came to life and the writer. It's fun. First of all, how do you feel every time, you know, the page becomes the screen for you?
It's pretty magical. I mean, to see something that only existed in my head, you know, back in like 2006 and 2007, and then 8 years later, I'm looking at the places and they feel so much like what I imagined, and the characters look and talk so much like I imagined. It's weird. I mean, I've never experienced anything like it. So I'm just really grateful that that the movie's so good and that they did such a good job making it.
Yeah, it's like someone picking your brain, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels that way.
And from your point of view, Nat, you know, basically the writer sitting next to you, he's invented this character. You've got the responsibility to make him in 4 dimensions. So is it exciting and daunting at the same time?
Yeah, it's exciting and daunting, but I had the added benefit of, first of all, being in Fault in Our Stars, which means that I already knew him and I knew what a good guy is and how, you know, he trusted me. And that, in a weird way, it's kind of easy because the character is so well drawn in the book, and then Weber and Neustaedter did such a good job of transferring him into a script. You know, at a certain point, it's just about, you know, not getting in my own way, you know.
Well, he's kind of perfect because technically he starts out as being, you know, quite smart.
He's kind of what do you say?
Perfect, because
yeah,
you know he's smart, he's witty, and very romantic. But then he gets adventurous at the same time. So it's good combination.
It's a good transition, you know. Yeah, he starts off, even though he's really smart and romantic and seems to have, you know, a good future ahead of him. He's also kind of limited, you know, by being kind of a coward and playing it safe, and then by the end of the movie, I think has a much more full life ahead of him.
It's quite cerebral to create a character because you're living in their mind. So when it comes to the big screen, there's this natural selection that has to be made. Is it difficult for you every time?
Well, I mean, it would be difficult if I didn't have Weber and Neustaedter writing the screenplays, and I trust them so much, and they do such a good job. So. Yeah, I mean, they understand my work really well, and then I knew that Nat was going to be Q from the very beginning, and Nat just sounds like I want the characters in my books to sound. So I was much less scared this time than I was the first time, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it's a different film completely.
Oh yeah, it's got a totally different tone, but something about it feels very classic to me. I mean, it's a comedy, but it's also a drama and a romance and a mystery. Like, it's not a genre movie. It's a movie that just tells a story of coming of age.
And finally, what was special about Cara?
I mean, Cara's an extraordinary actress. I'm so excited for people to see how good she is in this movie. She's just so spontaneous, and she's also very sensitive. So she's also able to go to really deep emotional places. As Margot, and she's just more like Margot than anybody I've ever met.
I mean, there's nobody who knows what it's like to have people project an idea onto a 2-dimensional image of you, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Cara knows that better than anybody.